Bonjour, mes amis. This is week one at France. I figured that even though it probably won't coincide at the end, I'll make a final one. Each week that I'm here, I'm going to make a little video journal for myself and for those who care about what I'm doing abroad. So I'm going to sum up the week really quickly, and then I actually have to go to class around like 11:30. Well, I have to go to lunch, then class. So getting here was a fun trip. My plane ride was about 7 hours with a 6 hour time jump. So 13 hours just went by. Got on the plane, watched a couple of movies, saw Les Mis, saw How I Met Your Mother in French, saw Iron Man 3. That was all pretty cool. I sat next to a pretty chill old lady who told me a bunch about Europe and when she went backpacking through Europe, and it was all pretty cool. I had goat cheese and ravioli. That was a good meal. They woke me up for yogurt and orange juice and a muffin. That was cool too. When I got to Paris, it was really awesome because I was finally in a French-speaking country, and it was like nighttime. It was like, well, it was 5 in the morning, so it was really dark. Traveling through a foreign airport, you get to see the French written everywhere. Everyone I talked to was in French. I was afraid of customs because I didn't know what it was, but it was really just a long line where someone just stamps your passport. So that was just nothing. Waited. The airport, like there were a bunch of stores that were just French. There was a bakery and there was a chocolate place, and I'm like, I might just spend all my money before I even go anywhere because this airport is ridiculous. Yeah, I wanted to say it, but yeah, that was pretty cool. When I got on that flight from Paris to Lyon was like a short 1 hour and change trip. They gave us. I got my first authentic French bread on that plane ride, and it was a chaussette aux pommes, which was just like a croissant with apples, just in a different shape. It was so good. I loved it. Got to the airport, was kind of lost, and somebody found me. It was Eric, somebody else who was in the program. He just noticed me because I guess he studied up on everybody who is going to this program. So he found me, and we eventually found where we had to go. We were actually 3 hours early, so we had a lot of waiting around to do when we actually found the spot to meet. We watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and then Morgan showed up, and we waited a little bit, and then somebody from the program was like, "Hey, you guys are Johnson Wales? I remember you. I recognize you guys." And yeah, we went. The bus driver spoke French. He packed our stuff, and we actually got some food. It was a sandwich on some French bread, and it was all so good. We got to meet everybody, and we got a ride to Isenjo, which is where I'm staying right now. It's a really cool, quaint little town village. It's got a little town center with a bunch of shopping places, and it's all really awesome. We have apartments here. I'm rooming with Morgan. We both have our own separate rooms since we're a guy and a girl. We have gender neutral rooms. Our room thing is number 23, I believe. Yeah, 23. Yeah, we're like far, like here are all the streets and all that, and here's the apartment place, and like there's some apartments in here. We're like all the way at the end, so it's quite a bit of a walk to get back in. They gave us dinner on our first night so they can introduce us to everybody and introduce us to the place, and they gave us a tour and told us about a lot of what we were going to be doing in our labs. We took a little French test, a 30 multiple choice question test to see how good our French was, and they placed us in our groups. I'm in JWU group number 2, so that means for 4 weeks I have afternoon labs from 1 to 8, 7 hours instead of 6 hours, and I have scattered French classes that start on for 4 weeks in the afternoon labs, and then the last 4 weeks we have morning labs, which would be pretty cool to end on morning labs, because then I'll be able to party before I get to go. So yeah, after they did the introduction and all that, we had our weekend, which was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we went to Le Puy, which is a town not too far from here. The bus is like €6 to go there. It's ridiculous. Spent €12 to get there and back, but it was fine because they had a Renaissance festival. And when they were like, oh, there's a Renaissance Festival, that's going to be pretty cool. No, this was a city-wide Renaissance Festival. Once we got there, we were a little confused because we just landed in the regular Le Puy, and then we took a few steps out somewhere, and then BAM! There were people walking around. It was a little early, so it wasn't too much of a bam, but it was like BAM! Here's some people here, some people here. So we're going the right direction. Then we went into like this older place, and there were a bunch of guards that let us take pictures with them, and we got to drink some alcohol that they had. He was just offering it to it, and I drank it. I could have been drugged, but there was a bunch of people with us. We went with like 11 people, and that was like the tastiest wine I've ever had. I wanted to steal the drink and run away. That would have been too good. First thing that happens is a crime by a black man from America. Not looking too good. So I behaved myself. We walked around. We saw a bunch of the old sites. We saw like an old Catholic cathedral. I lit a candle as a prayer in the cathedral. We looked around, took a lot of pictures. A lot of them are up on Facebook. I stole a bunch from friends. I haven't posted them. I guess I might, but that's like copyright infringement. But in Le Puy, they have like a bunch of little mountains with like structures on each one. We went to one of them, and one of them had a statue on there. We had to pay to go up there, and we were all discouraged because they're like, oh, $4 to go up there, and we're like, ew. And they're like, it might be $250. It's just like a $250 if we're a group of 10. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're a group of 10. $250, yeah, we'll do that. And they're like, oh yeah, oh you guys are students too? $150. We out there. We climbed up the little mountain. It wasn't too bad. They had steps and a pathway. Man, it was crazy. We got up there, and we got an extra surprise. Well, we knew that the view was going to be wonderful, which it is, and like that's my profile picture right now. But you could also go inside the statue and climb up into the statue, which is the Notre Dame of Le Puy. And you got to go into the statue, and up to the top, there is a crown on the lady's head. And in that is a little bubble where you get to look around all over the Puy, and it was a wonderful experience. Sorry, I'm going to speak a little bit fast because, I got to get all this in before I have to go do everything. So, yeah, we got to do all of that, and that was pretty sweet. That was the best. Yeah, and we saw a bunch more of the festival. Then we actually got to go to the little shops that the Renaissance thing had, and I bought a drinking horn. It's a horn, and it's for drinks. You can attach it to your belt and then just take the horn right off and then drink from it. It's not a blowing horn, drinking horn. Just making sure you guys know that. Just a drinking horn. I'm going to wait until I get alcohol to put it in there. So this has not been christened yet except for being washed out. That's the only liquid it has in there. So I'm waiting for like beer or whatever comes its way. Oh, maybe I'll drink wine in it this weekend. That'd be great. Okay. Yeah. So that little festival happened. I also went to the supermarket. No, I went to McDonald's. They have a French McDonald's. We keep seeing signs for it everywhere, but we actually went to the McDonald's, and it's a little bit of a walk. And it's pretty cool because they have like machines where you can actually just order you by yourself if you don't speak French, because that'll be pretty confusing if you go up there and like, hey, I want a double burger with cheese. What the fuck is that? Oh, no, but it was pretty cool. I learned that my French that I learned in high school for the 3 years, I remember a lot of it, and it's been helping. I've been like the anchor with French everywhere, and I'm so happy I get to do that. That's amazing. Yeah, I get to speak French everywhere. It's really cool. But yeah, we bought some food. I brought some back to eat. Then we went to the supermarket and bought a bunch of food there. Me and Morgan went shopping together, and we're pretty efficient at that because we got a bunch of lasting food that'll last us a while, and it's actual meals and sandwiches because we buy bread at a little bakery that's like right down the street, and bread is like less than €1, so it's all wonderful to deal with. So yeah, then classes started up. Let me get through classes real quick. So there's a different class each week. I'm in my first week right now, and the class that I am in is entremets. No petit gâteaux. We don't have time for that. So from our just before we go to class, though, I should throw this in there. They're very nice enough to give us lunch. So class starts at 1, so we get a lunch from 12. That we could stay in there till 1, but we usually leave around 12:30. So they give us a really awesome French lunch, 12 to 12:30, and then we go to class. we go until around like 4:30. Then we have a short little break where there's juice and there's coffee and fruits and bread, and then we continue again until 8. And it's all really wonderful experience. I really like the way the class is structured. Our chef is Chef Richard. He speaks French, but he's actually Australian, so he speaks English as well, and with a Australian accent, like really hard on there. Instead of right away, he says straight away, which is just hilarious and funny. So yeah, the way he structured it is entremets. Everybody would think like they're like cakes, but they're kind of like cakes, but the way we do them is kind of weird, not like a cake at all. We build it. So like what we do is like we would make like a small little disc layer of cake, and then we bake something else like a different kind. So like we have cake, and then there's one that has like a brownie, like, or there's like a crunch layer of like pralines, and then that, and then we have an insert. An insert is just a frozen disc of awesome flavor. So like we could have, I don't know. I really don't know. Like a cream, a really flavorful cream that we freeze into a disc shape, and then we put that in there as well. And what we do is for the rest of it, like all of it's just filled in with mousse. And like we're preparing this in a ring, so everything stays still. So we put the discs in there, we put the insert, and we're having like mousse all in there. And then when it gets to the top and we even it out, we pour like glaze on top of it, so it's all nice and shiny. And then when it's all together in one nice little convenient entremet, we put decorations on top or on the side. That's an entremet. And you know how I told you about all the layers, the way we're doing it, instead of how we did in the other class, like we baked a cake and then we just tried to build one and then build another. What we were doing was we're going to build all of them together. So we did all of the little cake layers the other day. Then we did all the crunches and all the custards. And then we're doing all the creams and all the inserts. And then we're going to do the mousses today. And then we're going to decorate and glaze tomorrow. So I really like how that's going. And class is going really well. I was really nervous that I wouldn't be able to do it quite well, but it all seems to be working out for me, which makes me pretty happy. That's really nice. It's really really fun. I had a new friend. I've gotten a bunch of friends, but one who's like one solidified friend. Her name is Megan McAllister. Me and her just went to the market right now. Just got back. It's all. She's real cool. She's real cool. She's short and she's blonde, and she has like small cute voice, but like the personality doesn't match it. But yeah, friends, fun, food, everything's going well, especially for a great first week of France. I don't know what's gonna happen this weekend. We might go down to Lyon, or we might go to the discotheque, which is the club. I know there's a bowling alley near the club too. There's so many things to try out, and I can't wait to go see them all. All right. So yeah, that was my first week. Oh yeah, and I also went to the market and bought chicken and fruit. So yeah, that's a complete update of what's been happening. Great to see you. Well, great to do this. So it'll be fun looking back in the future. All right, I've got to go. I've got about 18 minutes until I got to go to class, to lunch and then class. See you guys later, and I'll leave a little effect. Thumbs up, and whatever that is. Okay, bye.